The top stories tonight in Y News. The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, presents to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. the new Territorial Defense Plan, which aims to address emerging security threats to the country. The AFP demands payment from China for the value of equipment damaged and stolen by the Chinese Coast Guard during the incident at a Union Shoal last June 17. Senator Gatchalian believes that suspended Bamban-Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo cannot be considered as a state witness. And we will discover why United States President Joe Biden dismissed speculation that he is considering withdrawing from the presidential race, despite concerns raised by some Democrats following his debate performance against Donald Trump. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Thursday, the 4th of July, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Mavian Dog. First in the news. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. met on Thursday with officials of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, in a mid-year command conference at the AFP headquarters in Camp Aguinaldo, Quezon City. PBBM, who serves as the commander-in-chief of the organization, reviewed the progress of the military campaigns and programs. Nel Maribuhok reports.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines presented to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. on Thursday, July 4, the new Territorial Defense Plan, which aims to address emerging security threats to the country. According to AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr., the Commander-in-Chief during the command conference recognized the importance of this AFP plan, which also focuses particularly on the intrusion of other countries into the Philippines and their influence on various sectors.
In terms of territorial defense, we presented to the President our updated plan for our territorial defense Bantay Kalayaan. Nakita niya na very holistic yung ating approach. Hindi lang po kasi tayo nakatingin sa labas ng ating bansa, pero nakatingin din po tayo sa loob. No? Meaning, when we talk about territorial defense, we are not just doing external defense, looking outward, but we are also looking inward and addressing the united front works, no, ng ibang bansa na gustong impluwensyahan yung ating iba't ibang mga sektor ng society natin.
The AFP also presented to President Marcos its actions in the West Philippine Sea, including the country's resupply mission.
We have presented to our President several options that the Armed Forces of the Philippines will be doing, not just in terms of performing our RORE operations, but including the other operations in the West Philippine Sea.
General Browner refused to provide further details about these plans of the AFP, along with the Philippine Coast Guard and the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr. announced on Thursday, July 4, that the Philippine flag patch will now be worn on all military battle dress uniforms. This initiative serves as a visible reminder of the AFP's commitment to safeguarding the nation's sovereign rights and territorial integrity. This decision aligns with broader efforts by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to promote national pride and solidarity among Filipinos. Previously, Philippine flag patches were only worn by soldiers when they went abroad or during balikatan exercises. Now, the national flag will be prominently displayed daily on soldiers' uniforms, symbolizing their unwavering dedication to their country.
At this time, as the Chief of Staff, I have authorized all members of the Armed Forces of the Philippines to wear our flag on our right arm, on our right arm for our battle dress uniform. This is to show the patriotism of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and this is also to align with the goals of Bagong Pilipinas.
The Makabayan Bloc lawmakers revealed that they are in talks with the Liberal Party for the possibility of an alliance in the 2025 elections. Meanwhile, according to political analyst Professor Dennis Coronacion, an alliance of the opposition is possible. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
3 months before the filing of certificates of candidacy or COCs for the 2025 midterm elections, Makabayan Bloc lawmakers revealed they engage in discussions with other parties for potential alliances. According to House Deputy Minority Leader and ACT Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro, this includes the Liberal Party or LP. Based on statements from the congresswoman who announced plans to run for senator in the upcoming election, there are similarities between Makabayan and the Liberal Party.
Lahat kinakausap kasi syempre kasama yung Liberal Party kasi marami rin kaming mga magkakatulad na mga na mga issues na tinitindigan.
Liberal Party President Albay 1st District Representative Ed Salagman confirms the statement of Representative Castro that the Makabayan can have an alliance with the opposition. Meanwhile, according to political analyst Professor Dennis Coronacion, alliance among opposition parties is possible. This is amidst the type of politics long prevalent in the country.
Alam mo yun, sa politika ng bansa natin, anything is possible. Kasi nga mas nananaig sa pagpatisip, yung pagiging practical, yung self-interest ng mga political personalities natin over principles and ideologies.
He also said, although for now it may be difficult to form an alliance between Vice President Sara Duterte and opposition groups in Congress, the possibility of them having a common goal has not been ruled out. This includes defeating candidates from the Marcos administration in the upcoming election.
Pero kung magiging practical lamang itong mga taong to, posible. So, ang magkaroon sila ng unifying goal, which is to defeat the PBBM administration, lalo na doon sa number of seats sa House of Representatives at sa Senate, baka maaari on magkaroon ng temporary alliance.
House Assistant Minority Leader and Gabriela Women's Party List Representative Arlene Brosas emphasized the need for voters to have other options in the midterm elections and not just the rivalry between the camps of the Marcoses and the Dutertes.
Yun po yung kulang ngayon. Ang choices mo, Marcos, Duterte, hindi yun ang gusto ng Makabayan. Tunay na oposisyon ang gusto ng Makabayan Bloc. Kung kaya po, open kami doon sa pakikipag-usap ng mga tunay na oposisyon. Yung alam namin na talagang titindig para sa ating mga mamamayan at talagang para sa pagbabagong panlipunan. Hindi yung panatilihin tong status quo na meron tayo.
The Makabayan Bloc plans to form a slate of 12 candidates for their 2025 senatorial lineup. Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, United States President Joe Biden has dismissed speculation that he is considering withdrawing from the presidential race, despite concerns raised by some Democrats following his debate performance against Donald Trump. RK Llorca will give us the details live. Yes, RK, good evening.
Good evening, Maeve. Amid speculation and pressure, United States President Joe Biden has firmly declared his intention to remain in the presidential race. In a closed-door meeting with Vice President Kamala Harris and the broader Democratic campaign call, Biden said that he is the nominee of the Democratic Party and he is not leaving. This is following his debate performance against Donald Trump, on which raised concerns on some Democrats over his fitness for the office. However, polls indicate that Trump has widened his lead since the debate, prompting calls from some Democratic donors and lawmakers for Biden to step aside. The White House and Biden's campaign, on the other hand, have boldly denied these reports, with Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre stating it is absolutely false that Biden is considering dropping out. Biden met with 20 Democratic governors, including potential replacements Gavin Newsom and Gretchen Whitmer, who pledged their support to him. Although Kamala Harris, the current U.S. Vice President, has seen a boost in support since the debate, she is also considered the most likely successor if Biden were to withdraw. The Democratic National Committee will officially nominate Biden at the August convention, but one member suggested that Harris should be the nominee if Biden does not run. Nevertheless, Biden is scheduled to appear at events in the Wisconsin and Philadelphia states to demonstrate his fitness for office, while a fundraising email from their campaign supporters urging that he is running and will be in the U.S. presidential until the end. Back to you, Maeve.
Thank you, RK Lyorca, live from Thailand. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan has proposed to help end the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. However, the Kremlin has ruled out Erdogan's potential role as an intermediary. Ruth Bahe tells us why.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan met with Russian President Vladimir Putin on the sidelines of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization or SCO summit in Kazakhstan on Wednesday, July 3, where Erdogan proposed that Turkey could help end the 28-month-old conflict between Russia and Ukraine. However, the Kremlin rejected the idea of Erdogan acting as an intermediary or mediator in the conflict. According to Russian state media, Dmitry Peskov, Russian president's spokesman, categorically stated that Erdogan cannot play the role of a mediator in the ongoing war. But Peskov did not provide any further explanation for the Kremlin's opposition to Erdogan's potential involvement. In addition to the Russia-Ukraine war, the two leaders also discussed the situation in Gaza and Syria during their meeting. While Turkey is a North Atlantic Treaty Organization or NATO member, Erdogan has tried to maintain relatively balanced relations with both Russia and Ukraine throughout the course of the war. This contrasts with other NATO leaders who have imposed sanctions on Putin's government in response to the invasion of Ukraine. Turkey played a crucial role in brokering the deal that enabled the safe shipment of grain from Ukraine's Black Sea ports, a deal that remained in effect for a period of 1 year. Ruth Bahe, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
A tragic incident in India has resulted in 121 fatalities, leading to widespread sorrow and outrage among the populace. Jane Robles will tell us why.
After a tragic crash in Uttar Pradesh resulted in 121 fatalities, some families continue to search for their missing relatives. An incident took place at a Hindu religious festival in Hathras district on Tuesday, July 2, which was organized by self-proclaimed Godman Buli Baba. Police have filed a case against the primary organizers of an event due to significant overcrowding that resulted in a crash. Policemen and politicians visited the site of a tragedy, removing a tent and arches displaying the self-styled guru's name and photograph. Rain soaked the venue, making walking difficult. A brick path led to the main stage, filled with victims' clothes and shoes, with most women injured. Yogesh Yadav, a resident, witnessed hundreds of women rushes to the site after a prayer meeting, seeking blessings from Bule Baba. He also reported that women fell in a drain adjacent to the highway, causing chaos and people falling on top of each other. Police reported 80,000 attendees at an event, but 250,000 showed up due to inadequate security, according to eyewitnesses. Dozens of people in Aligarh are waiting to receive their loved ones' bodies, including a man who has been searching for his missing aunt since Tuesday afternoon. Ridish Kumar, wailing outside the mortuary, mourned the death of his wife, Sarva Devi, during a prayer meeting, expressing his struggle to care for his children without her. The preacher, whose popularity is unknown, was prominently displayed on posters and billboards near the accident site. Moreover, police allege that the Ram Katir Charitable Trust, the main organizer of Tuesday's event, was responsible for the incident, a common occurrence at religious events in India. Meanwhile, in 2018, a train rammed into a crowd during Dussehra, a Hindu festival, resulting in 60 deaths, and in 2013, 115 were killed in a crash at a similar event. Jane Robles, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
We'll share more global stories with you later. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. On Friday, July 5th, the Department of Budget and Management, or DBM, is set to release 27 billion pesos to settle the remaining health emergency allowance for healthcare workers who served during the pandemic. This allocation will enable the Department of Health, or DOH, to promptly process payments. According to the DOH, barangay health workers aligned to licensed health facilities or health-related establishments involved in the COVID-19 response are eligible for this allowance. This initiative aligns with the National Action Plan Against COVID-19, PDITR+. Once funds are available, the DOH will sub-allot them to respective Centers for Health Development, or CHDS. These centers will oversee the disbursement of the health emergency allowance to local government units and private health facilities under their jurisdiction. This process is contingent upon meeting requirements, including the submission of liquidations from previous fund transfers and the signing of Memorandum of Agreement. This move aims to provide timely financial support to healthcare workers who have tirelessly contributed to the nation's COVID-19 response efforts. In the bustling market of Divisoria, known for its affordable prices, school supplies remain unaffected by price changes. Despite the impending school year and the recent release of a price guide by the Department of Trade and Industry, vendors in Divisoria have kept their prices steady. Jed Neresina details why.
As the new school year approaches, shoppers are flocking to Divisoria for their school supply needs. According to vendors, the market sees a surge in shoppers every Saturday and Sunday, more than on regular weekdays. So far, prices remain stable with a wide variety of supplies still available.
Ganun pa rin naman po yung presyo namin. Wag lang po mawala ng stock ng notebook. Para hindi kami tumaas. Kasi minsan tumataas talaga actually. Kagaya nakarang taon, umabot kami ng 250. Ewan na namin next week or second week kung malapit yung pasukan. Kasi ngayon marami pa naman stock
Based on the price guide released by the Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, the cheapest notebook is priced at 11 pesos. Pad papers range from 9 to 13 pesos, and the most affordable pencil costs between 11 to 15 pesos. The lowest price ballpen is 3 pesos, while a box of crayons starts at 12 pesos, varying by brand and quality. Sellers emphasize that buying in bulk can save consumers money compared to purchasing items individually.
Once na bumili sila para makala sila ng bongga, kailangan per bundle talaga yung bibili nila. Per bundle. Kasi once na maka-purpose silang binili, doon sila mapapamahal sa Magulat lang sila sa presyo, ganun, babayaran nila. Mas maganda talaga, bundle, buo ang bibili nila. Medyo nagkakabilihan naman. Once na yung pagpapasokan na talaga, doon na po talaga magkasaksagan na bilihan ng mga school supply.
Additionally, DTI urges consumers to check the labels of school supplies to ensure quality and compliance with standards. Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And in other global news, on Wednesday afternoon, July 3, Hurricane Beryl menacingly swirled across Jamaica, hitting the southern coast of the island. The communities experienced intense winds and witnessed trees being uprooted, roofs ripped off, farms being destroyed, and paths across the island being flooded and blocked by fallen trees and utility poles. Majority of the capital also lost power. At least 9 are reported in the death toll from the Category 4 hurricane's powerful turbulence that went on for hours. Prime Minister Andrew Holness updated that around 500 people were placed in shelters by Wednesday afternoon. The island will remain to be a declared disaster zone for the next 7 days. Evacuation orders are in place for communities prone to landslides and flash flooding. Meanwhile, the United States National Hurricane Center forecasts that the Beryl will slightly weaken over the next 2 days. However, it will go back to storm strength as it heads to the Gulf of Mexico later this week and over the weekend. For the first time ever on Wednesday, July 3, Canada named a woman as the country's top soldier. This move is part of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's continued efforts to appoint women to more senior positions. Paul Gatchalian tells us why.
Canada is currently under pressure from its allies to step up its defense spending, following difficulties to achieve recruitment goals and a slow replacement of outdated equipment. In November 2023, the head of the Navy said that the service was in a critical state and might not have the capabilities to fulfill its basic duties in 2024. Moreover, there had been efforts to eliminate ingrained hostility, sexual misconduct, racism, and toxic work culture in the armed forces. And so, starting July 18, 2024, Lieutenant General Jenny Carignan will take over as Chief of the Defense Staff in Canada, the First Lady to be promoted to the top job. The formal announcement came ahead of the NATO Leaders Summit next week. During her 35 years in the Army, Carignan started as a military engineer and then commanded troops in Afghanistan, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Iraq, and Syria. Carignan succeeds General Wayne Erie, who declared his retirement plans earlier this year. From 1964, Canada has more than 20 full-time defense chiefs, with all of them being men. Since Trudeau took office in late 2015, he has pushed for policies aimed at promoting gender equality. In 2018, Brenda Lucki was named the first female commander of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police as the official representative of the British monarchy. The last 2 governor-generals were also female. Both appointments were made by Trudeau. Paul Gatchalian, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. The leadership of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, is demanding compensation from China following the June 17th incident at Ayungin Shoal. The AFP is seeking 60 million pesos for the damaged equipment. Among the items taken by the Chinese Coast Guard personnel were personal cell phones belonging to some soldiers. In addition to the financial compensation, the AFP is also demanding the return of firearms taken by the Chinese and compensation for a Filipino soldier who lost a finger in the incident. Ryan Lacanlale explains why.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, is demanding payment from China for the value of equipment damaged and stolen by Chinese Coast Guard during the incident at Ayungin Shoal last June 17. This situation occurred when they obstructed Philippine Navy personnel conducting a rotational and resupply mission to BRP Sierra Madre. During the confrontation, 2 rigid-hulled inflatable boats and 2 rubber boats were punctured and damaged by the Chinese using axes, knives, and other sharp objects. Communication devices, navigational equipment, and even the engine of the rig were destroyed. Additionally, various items were taken, including cell phones belonging to some soldiers. and 7 firearms that were still in the cases intended for soldiers stationed on the BRP Sierra Madre.
Pero dun sa aking sulat, I demanded the return of 7 firearms. Yung pong mga baril na yon ay kinuha ng mga Chinese Coast Guard na nakabox kasi yung mga armas na yon. Kaya dinampot na lang nila yung mga 7 rifle. At sinira nila yung ating mga kagamitan. And when we estimated the cost of the damage, it's 60 million pesos. 60.
AFP leadership has formally filed a complaint with the National Defense and the Department of Foreign Affairs to communicate these demands to their counterpart in China. In addition to demanding the return of the 7 firearms and payment of 60 million pesos in damages, the AFP is also seeking compensation from China to cover the medical expenses for a Filipino soldier who lost his finger during the resupply mission.
We are also looking into the possibility of charging them with the cost of restructuring the hand of si SN1 Facundo. Kasi mag-operahan po siya operahan para bumalik yung function ng kanyang kamay. Meron po kasing mga technology ngayon, medical technology na bago, nang sa gayon ay magamit niya ulit yung kanyang kanang kamay.
Ryan Lacanlale, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Following their heated exchange in yesterday's hearing on the new Senate building, Senator Nancy Binay is studying filing a complaint against Senator Alan Peter Cayetano before the Senate Ethics Committee. In a statement, Binay said she will consult her staff on what appropriate action to take. She further calls Cayetano's conduct as unbecoming of a lawmaker, noting that Cayetano is among the most senior senators. Binay adds Cayetano owes the members of the media an apology for his accusations. Cayetano has yet to comment on the issue. Senate Majority Leader Francis Tolentino says he will deal with the possible complaint if it is referred to the Senate Committee on Ethics and Privileges, which he chairs. A lawmaker believes that suspended Bamban Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo cannot be considered as a state witness. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian asserts that Guo cannot be a state witness due to her involvement in illegal pogo operations in the country. According to the senator, Guo was at the center of Hongsheng Gaming Incorporated, which was scrutinized by authorities in Bamban Tarlac because she applied for its local permits. Meanwhile, Senate Deputy Minority Leader Risa Hontiveros believes that Guo's siblings should also be investigated for possible complicity. This comes after it was revealed that Mayor Guo's sibling, Wesley Guo, is a Chinese national whose fingerprints match those in an investigation involving Guo Xiangzhen. The senator notes that Guo's siblings could be implicated in crimes linked to her if their identities are proven to be fake. The committee has subpoenaed Mayor Guo's siblings for the next hearing scheduled for July 10. The Department of Justice spokesperson Assistant Secretary Miko Clavano declared readiness for their team to depart for Timor-Leste at any time. This comes as they await the final decision from the Court of Appeals of Timor-Leste regarding the Philippines' deportation request for former Congressman Arnulfo Teves. Assistant Secretary Clavano further added that they expect Teves' camp to exhaust all remedies to prevent his return to the country. Nevertheless, the government remains confident that Timor-Leste's court will not grant Teves' potential appeal against his extradition.
Again ho namin, as an accused, they will try to exhaust yung full period. No? We are ready kung ano man ang magiging desisyon ng Court of Appeals. Ready na po yung team natin na pupunta ng Timor-Leste para po maibalik si Ginoong Teves dito ng safe at secured.
In a response to a concerning incident, EDSA busway drivers have agreed to the Department of Transportation's suggestion to conduct intensified random drug tests. This decision follows the arrest of a bus driver and conductor who were found in possession of drug paraphernalia and drugs. JP Nunez will tell us why.
Even if a surprise drug test is conducted immediately as suggested by the Department of Transportation, EDSA busway drivers are willing to undergo the test.
Kahit ngayon mismo, drug test niya ako. Siyempre, kahit araw-araw pa sa akin, para makita nila yung gumagamit.
They emphasize that such tests are crucial to ensuring that all bus drivers are not under the influence of illegal drugs when they are behind the wheel.
Maganda ho yun, para wala nang magdadrugs dito sa carousel. Para safe po yung mga pasahero, saka yung transport. Para maiwasan ng aksidente sa daan. Yung mga gumagamit pero may pagkamaligalig maligalig sa pasahero kahit sa kapwa nila empleyado. Madali silang uminit ang ulo, ganoon ba?
The Department of Transportation or DOTR said they will suggest to its attached agencies to conduct an intensified random drug test than the usual only during peak season. The Land Transportation Office, Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, Special Action and Intelligence Committee for Transportation, and Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency will conduct a meeting on how they will conduct random drug tests. The suggestion came after a bus driver and its conductor was nabbed for carrying drug paraphernalia and drugs recently.
Yung mga random drug tests ay ginagawa din ng SAIC ng DOTR pagka sa panahon ng mga malakihang pagbibiyahe tulad ng Pasko, ng Undas, ng Holy Week. So ngayon ay lamang ay mag-uusap na ang mga ahensya.
The commuter also agreed to the suggestion as it will ensure their safety.
Security, of course, ang iyang mga passengers. One is too many. Kunting pagkakamali, maraming dangers of lives ang masisira po. So, very important talaga na mag-start sa driver ang pagkakaroon ng drug testing.
Kapag po yung driver inaantok or may time po na napapabilis po niya bigla yung pag-andar tapos hindi po niya napapansin na may stoplight pala doon. So kapag po halimbawa, siya po siya ng drugs, pwede niya pong i-diretso yon.
Meanwhile, the DOTR has a reminder to commuters of EDSA busway.
Lalo na pagka sumasakay ng gabi, ganyan, kung merong kakaiba, wag naman sana ay baka rin na magkaroon ng mga hinahinang mga bug na maiiwan, ganyan. So maging concerned sila kay alam na lalo na sa mga enforcers ng SAIC diyan sa busway para ma-actionan agad.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Agriculture or DA will launch a large-scale trial called P29 program on Friday, July 5th at 10 Kadiwa sites. This initiative, spearheaded by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., aims to provide high-quality rice at 29 pesos per kilo to as many as 6.9 million vulnerable households, representing around 35 million Filipinos. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Tui Laurel Jr. announced on Thursday, July 4th, that 19 Kadiwa centers in Metro Manila and Bulacan will participate in this trial program, where rice will be sold at 29 pesos per kilo every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday initially. The large-scale trial aims to gather comprehensive data on supply, demand, and logistics, which are essential for the smooth nationwide rollout of the program. During this period, Kadiwa will also prepare booklets to monitor rice purchases at 29 pesos by beneficiaries, including senior citizens, single parents, persons with disabilities, and beneficiaries of the government's 4PS program.
This large-scale trial aims to gather comprehensive data on supply, demand, and logistics, essential for the smooth nationwide rollout of the program. And during this period, the Kadiwa In preparation for its nationwide rollout, we will be preparing booklets to monitor rice purchases of the P29 beneficiaries.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, officials headed by Chairman George Erwin Garcia is now in the province of Tawi-Tawi in southern Mindanao. This is for the scheduled voter education in the area on Friday, July 5. Chairman Garcia said they will also conduct a demonstration on the new automated counting machines, or ACMs, by the South Korean firm Miru Systems Company Limited. In fact, some Miru executives, also with the COMELEC, are there to witness the process. Also, the I1 company that won the bidding for the transmission of the election results.
Malalaman natin, makikita kung talagang effective na pwede makapag-transmit ng results kahit napakahina ng signal. Ano yun po, halos dito sa kinalalagyan natin sa kasalukuyan wala pong signal. At gumagamit sila dito of course ng Starlink, pero meron ding mga dalang equipment, yung mismo I1, and makikita natin yung effectivity ng kanilang sistema.
The automated counting machines of Miru are being customized by COMELEC. Garcia further explained that they want to show to the public how these machines run and would be experienced by the voters themselves. Our kasangbahay. As the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity. From Monday to Friday, 9:30 p.m. on all social media accounts of the Members Church of God International. And before we close, we will leave you with the word giving glory to God. From the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 7. It says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." And those are the reasons behind the news, July 4, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Mavian Dog, live from Australia. We serve the people, we give glory to God.